community to listen and
Now on NBC Palm Springs at 5, hundreds of protesters are expected to fill streets across the Coachella Valley tomorrow for No Kings rallies. We speak with organizers and law enforcement about what to expect.
Plus, it's been 5 months after the Palm Springs bombing, and locals have raised more than $300,000 to help businesses. We asked tonight, where did the money end up?
Beautiful blue skies, but the temperatures will continue to go up. I'll let you know exactly how hot it's going to get. NBC Palm Springs at 5 begins now.
Now, this is NBC Palm Springs.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Olivia Sandusky.
And I'm Mark Mester. Let's get to tonight's top story. Hundreds of protesters are set to hit different areas across the Coachella Valley tomorrow for the No Kings protest. Tomorrow's rally marks the second protest led by the national organization. Tiani Jadaling joins us live in studio tonight. She spoke with one organizer and local law enforcement and shares the details tonight. Tiani?
Mark, here in the Coachella Valley, 4 different protests are being held throughout the day. Organizers tell me this rally is to express their discontent with the current administration. This is an event locator for Saturday's No Kings protests set to take place across the country. According to the website nokings.org, millions will protest, and several of those will do so here in the Coachella Valley. Robert McCann, a co-organizer of the Cathedral City rally, tells us why he's a part of this movement.
It's unacceptable to the American people to change our form of government as radically as the current administration is trying to change it. That's not acceptable to us, and we will fight it.
McCann says over 800 people have signed up for the Cathedral City protest alone, and while the organization's goal is to have their voices heard, safety is also top of mind.
A lot of it is checking with the authorities, checking with the police, checking with the mayor's office to make sure that the way that we're going to do it is legal, so that we won't have any problems with them. And after that, it's mostly getting the word out.
The organizers have been in communication with local law enforcement leading up to the 4 rallies here in the Coachella Valley. Cathedral City, 2 in Palm Springs and 1 in Palm Desert. But for events of this size, Commander Andrew Diaz with the Cathedral City Police Department says they're teaming up with agencies across the desert.
We'll also have the fire department's been made aware, and so they know of the event, and it's another day that public safety always takes into account our citizens. And if we need the fire department for any particular medical issues, we call them out.
Commander Diaz says additional personnel will be on standby. He says their goal is to ensure the safety of the public as protesters and counter-protesters express their First Amendment rights. As for safety for those planning to attend, these are some tips to remember moving forward.
The number one thing is to remain on sidewalks and not cross the street unless the light turns red for the opposing traffic, obviously, and you can stay in the crosswalks. But we want to make sure that people don't get hit by vehicles. Again, we just don't know who's driving, and we don't want anybody getting hurt.
The first protest starts tomorrow at 9 a.m. We'll have coverage of tomorrow's rallies here on NBC Palm Springs tomorrow evening. Live in studio, I'm Tiani Jadaling, NBC Palm Springs.
Tiani, thank you. A local alert this evening. In La Quinta, 2 teens were hit by a car while riding their bikes last week. The driver now facing some serious charges. Deputies from the Thermal Sheriff's Station responded to a traffic collision at the intersection of Highway 111 and Adams Street in La Quinta. This was on October 10th. When deputies arrived, they say they found teens suffering from major injuries. The driver did not stop and fled the scene before law enforcement could arrive, but deputies located the suspect's vehicle in La Quinta, identifying the driver as Palm Springs resident 47-year-old Jose Villegas Sorbe. Officials determined Villegas Sorbe was intoxicated at the time of the crash. Investigators also determined he'd been involved in an earlier hit and run that same night in Indian Wells. The suspect was already on probation for a previous DUI. The suspect now facing multiple charges, including vehicular manslaughter, hit and run, and violation of probation.
One of the teenage victims of the crash is 14-year-old Liam Cantu. In a Give, Send, Go page made for Liam, his family says he's in critical condition and needed to undergo life-saving brain surgery, which he thankfully survived. At this time, they're asking for the community's support, both through financial support and through thoughts and prayers. You can find that donation page on the newsroom tab of our website. That's NBCPalmSprings.com.
The Indio Police Department will hold a DUI checkpoint. It's tonight from 6 p.m. until 2 a.m. It's at an undisclosed location. Officials say the checkpoint is based on data showing where impaired driving crashes are most likely to happen. Their goal, to keep dangerous drivers off the road. Police are reminding the public impairment isn't just from alcohol. Some medications and marijuana can also affect your ability to drive. A first-time DUI can cost more than $13,000 in fines and penalties, along with a suspended license. This operation is funded through the Cannabis Tax Fund Grant Program.
This Saturday, the Kiwanis Club of Palm Springs will host a community service day at Kitty's Wildlife Refuge and Rescue in Sky Valley. They're teaming up with neighboring Kiwanis clubs and Key Club students from every high school in the Coachella Valley, including the newly formed Key Club at Desert Hot Springs High School. More than 40 students, parents, and Kiwanis members are expected to volunteer, lending a hand, and giving back to the community.
All right, it's a Friday here in the Coachella Valley. We are bringing you a live look outside our Agua Caliente casino camera. This is Rancho Mirage, where you see some beautiful blue skies there as we check in with Pablo Alcina tonight. Pablo, man, I went out for lunch today. I'm like, this is a perfect day today. I give it a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, it was beautiful because it was hot, but not muggy at all. Humidity just 11%, not that hot yet, just 89 degrees. So that dry air, so nice in the desert this time of year. Usually it's a little bit cooler the last couple of days. Now we're back to normal. Winds at just 8 miles an hour. And all throughout the Southwest, Palm Springs at 89, LA just 81. So if you're going to go up to Vegas, just 77 degrees, the highs there. So nice temperatures throughout, but I really like that crisp, dry air that we're feeling outside. You don't even sweat at all. I'm from Miami. I'm not used to no humidity. Loving this. Palm Springs at 89 degrees, the high today. Palm Desert at 88, Indio at 89, but Joshua Tree with highs of just 70 degrees. The temperatures will continue to go up as we look at our Comfort Air 3-day forecast. Fridays, highs of 89, but on Saturday, we're going to see 90. Sunday, we're going to see 91, and the temperatures are going to continue to go up for the next couple of days before seeing another dip back down into the 80s. But how hot is it going to get? I'll let you know coming up. And it's also Friday, so you might have to stick around for the Pablo Spin, which I do every single Friday. Let's go back to Olivia and Mark.
Continuing coverage this evening, it's been 5 months since a bombing at a fertility clinic rattled Palm Springs and the Coachella Valley. We have a look at the scene today. This is off of Indian Canyon Drive, where that bombing took place on May 17th, killing one person, the bomber, 25-year-old Guy Edward Barkis of 29 Palms. It also left 4 people injured. Another person of interest in the case, Daniel Park from the state of Washington, was arrested after being accused of sending over 180 pounds of materials used to make the homemade bombs in the blast. Park later died while in custody.
After the Palm Springs bombing, the community came together, raising over $300,000 to help the businesses affected. However, the question is, what business benefited from the raised funds? We interviewed Palm Springs Mayor Ron DeHart, who's also the CEO of Palm Springs Pride, the nonprofit who, with the help of the community, raised funds to help the businesses who were damaged by the blast. Now, at this time, he's not saying which businesses have received the money. So where has it gone? Well, we've got that full story coming up at 6 o'clock here on NBC Palm Springs, so please stay with us for that.
Taking place this weekend across Palm Springs, it's Modernism Week October. There will be over 50 events happening, from house tours, entertainment socials, and more. Portion of the tickets sold benefit Modernism Week's nonprofit group, as well as other local preservation, neighborhood, and community groups. Modernism's main week event, now celebrating 20 years, starts February 12th of next year.
Also this week, Palm Springs Parks and Recreation is hosting a variety of Halloween events for the month of October. On Saturday, there will be a floating pumpkin patch at Palm Springs Pavilion. This runs from 1 to 3. Activities include pumpkin diving, arts and crafts, swimming, and other themed activities. More events will take place throughout the month, so we'll have the latest updates on all the happenings.
All right, coming up next on this Friday evening, the fraud case against QueerWorks CEO Jacob Ruptofsky. His trial readiness hearing was held today, but the case has been delayed again. We've got the details coming up.
Plus, more cases of Mpox detected in Southern California over the last week. We've got the details ahead from health officials, so stay with us.
Missed the news yesterday? Well, don't worry. You can watch the latest stories and even original news programming over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Every morning at 6 a.m., Jerry and I are here to help you start your day informed and connected. And after our newscast, I head out into our community to listen and bring you the stories that truly impact our lives here in the Valley so that your voice is heard.
You're watching our digital live stream. For the latest news and updates on developing stories, head over to our website, NBCPalmSprings.com. Committed to covering our community. You're watching NBC Palm Springs at 5.
Welcome back. The case against the CEO of a local nonprofit took another turn today. Jacob Rostovsky faces more than 50 felony counts of fraud, and his trial has been pushed back once again. Our Alondra Campos was inside the courtroom today. She joins us live in studio tonight with all of the latest details for us. Alondra?
That's right. QueerWorks CEO Jacob Rostovsky was back in court today as he faces multiple charges, including fraudulent claims, grand theft, and alleged misappropriation of more than $800,000 in public funds. His legal team is now asking for more time and filed a petition for mental health diversion in this legal battle that has been unfolding for nearly a year.
The motion to seal, correct?
That's correct, Your Honor. Okay. And pursuant, we'll refile as we discussed.
Yeah. QueerWorks CEO Jacob Rostovsky stood quietly next to his lawyer in the courtroom as the judge agreed to postpone yet again his trial readiness conference.
Voted back here December 17th, 8:30 in the morning in this apartment.
The defense has filed a mental health diversion petition, a request that, if approved, could allow Rostovsky to enter treatment instead of traditional prosecution. Under this petition, the defendant waives their right to a speedy trial, and the defense must provide a diagnosis of a mental health disorder, provide a nexus between the mental health disorder and the crime the defendant committed, and prove that a treatment program would be the best option. If a judge sees that the mental health disorder is not a risk to public safety, the defendant will undergo a treatment program that can last up to 2 years and then be freed of all charges. If the judge disapproves of the treatment outcome, however, the trial will start once again from the beginning. After the short hearing, we asked both sides for comment, and while the defense kept quiet,
I'll talk to you later off the record on background, but I don't want to talk now.
prosecutors also declined to speak. Any comment? Is there no at all? District Attorney Mike Hestrin first announced the 53-count indictment against Rostovsky last year, alleging he embezzled hundreds of thousands of dollars. The controversy originated with a universal basic income pilot program led by Rostovsky, promising monthly stipends for transgender and non-binary residents. Those funds, investigators say, were instead used for personal expenses. The case prompted the city of Palm Springs to revise how it handles public grants, implementing new auditing procedures and fraud prevention training after a civil grand jury found more than $700,000 taxpayer dollars was lost. Rostovsky's next court appearance will take place on December 17th at the Riverside Hall of Justice for the next trial readiness conference, where his legal team expects the judge to have a final decision on the mental health diversion petition. Live from studio, I'm Alondra Campos. Back to you.
All right, Alondra, thank you for that. Turning to some news across the region this evening, the California Department of Public Health and local health departments have identified 3 unrelated cases of a new Mpox type among Southern California residents without a history of recent international travel. Health officials say these cases indicate that person-to-person community spread of Clade 1 Mpox is happening here in California. Prior cases of this particular strain in the United States have been associated with international travel to areas where Clade 1 Mpox is circulating. All 3 cases required hospitalization and are now recovering. The California Department of Health, along with local health departments, are conducting surveillance and contact tracing to identify any additional cases and prevent further transmission. Officials say the risk to the general public remains low at this time.
And some other news across Southern California. Vice President J.D. Vance recently departed from Washington, D.C. with his family to join the Marines in celebrating their 250th anniversary at Camp Pendleton tomorrow. Camp Pendleton is located in San Diego County. Both Vance and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth planning to be in attendance for that celebration. That's according to U.S. Marine Corps officials.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky met with President Trump at the White House today with long-range Tomahawk missiles and the trajectory of the war with Russia on the agenda as Kiev intensifies its push for U.S. military aid. The meeting comes after President Trump's phone call Thursday with Russian President Vladimir Putin, a conversation where Moscow warned that U.S. plans to send long-range Tomahawks to Kiev would escalate tensions. Trump has not made a decision yet, but Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth hinted more firepower is on the way ahead of next week's NATO defense ministers meeting in Brussels. Ukrainian President Zelensky has framed the talks as part of a broader push to secure weapons to defend critical infrastructure. Trump also says he plans to meet with Putin in Budapest in the coming days.
And this conflict, who is doing a better job negotiating, President Zelensky or President Putin?
I think they're both doing a great job in that sense. We have to get it done. We've got to take some of the hatred of each other. You know, they don't like each other. I say that in front of President Zelensky, but I say it in front of President Putin, too. They have tremendous bad blood. It really is what is holding up, I think, a settlement. I think we're going to get it done, and we have to make it long-lasting. As I said in the Middle East, everlasting, right? Everlasting.
The White House meeting today caps a week of back-and-forth signaling from these leaders.
Let's take a break from the headlines, give you a live look outside our Indian Wells Golf Resort camera on this Friday evening. In just a bit, we'll have more on Friday Night Lights and all the high school football action. But right after the break, Pablo Alsina joins us with a look at your 7-day forecast and, more importantly, your weekend forecast. So stay with us.
Missed the news yesterday? Well, don't worry. You can watch the latest stories and even original news programming over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Every morning at 6 a.m., Jerry and I are here to help you start your day informed and connected. And after our newscast, I head out into our community to listen and bring you the stories that truly impact our lives here in the Valley so that your voice is heard.
You're watching our digital live stream. For the latest news and updates on developing stories, head over to our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Don't miss our digital exclusive content. Me on a Plate, Talking with Thalia, Kai the Deal Guy, and Desert Entertainment with Todd. Only on NBCPalmSprings.com.
News isn't all we do. We have a wide variety of original programming for you to enjoy over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Successful wildlife projects are happening all across the Salton Sea.
And in the middle of these restoration efforts, lithium enters the equation. Dive into the delicate balance of nature and the emerging Lithium Valley, streaming on NBCPalmSprings.com.
Happy Friday. I am Pablo Alsina. Check out this beautiful shot from the Walter Clark cam. Very light wind and perfect baby blue skies, and also not much humidity, just simply sensational weather. Still not as hot as it's going to get, but you can't complain. We're back to almost normal high of 91. We were at 89 today, nowhere near the record of 105 degrees. Now the temperatures will continue to go up a little bit and then start going down at nighttime. But the dew points in the 30s, which means no mugginess, not heavy, just perfect to be outside for a little walk. The wind's also very calm, 9 miles an hour in Palm Springs, around 13 miles an hour in Whitewater. Up in Big Bear, just 8 miles an hour, and they already saw some snow couple of days ago in the mountains. If you're going walking, of course, watch us first and watch the Rogan Report because I fill in for Fred. But after that, go out for a nice little walk. 6 p.m., 77 degrees. By midnight, it's going to drop down to just 65, but the stars are going to look so beautiful. So get your walk in and put the phone down and look at the stars. How low will the temperatures go? Pretty nice. Palm Springs 62. 2 days ago, we were in the low 50s, so it has been heating up even nighttime, but it's still so comfortable and nice. Palm Desert with lows of 60. 57 in Indio, Joshua Tree with lows of 51 degrees. Banning, they're going to see lows of 51 as well. Our 7-day comfort air forecast, this is what I mentioned. The temperatures will go up. On Saturday, up to 90 degrees. Sunday to 91. With that low pressure system finally away that brought the coolness, we're going to see temperatures again in the mid-90s, 94 degrees on Monday, then going back down to the 80s by next Wednesday. I am Pablo. I'll see you next Friday. The Pablo Spin is back. Keep it here on NBC Palm Springs.
Missed the news yesterday? Well, don't worry. You can watch the latest stories and even original news programming over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Every morning at 6 a.m., Jerry and I are here to help you start your day informed and connected. And after our newscast, I head out into our community to listen and bring you the stories that truly impact our lives here in the Valley so that your voice is heard.
You're watching our digital live stream. For the latest news and updates on developing stories, head over to our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Don't miss our digital exclusive content. Me on a Plate, Talking with Thalia, Kai the Deal Guy, and Desert Entertainment with Todd. Only on NBCPalmSprings.com.
News isn't all we do. We have a wide variety of original programming for you to enjoy over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com. And now, NBC Palm Springs Sports with Caitlin Kelly, powered by Agua Caliente Casino.
The Palm Springs Indians hosting the Xavier Saints tonight for some Friday football fun. Our Caitlin Kelly joining us live tonight from Palm Springs High School with the very latest on tonight's matchup. Hey, Caitlin.
Hey, Olivia, that's right. I'm here on the sidelines at Ralph Watts Stadium ahead of that game that you just previewed. Xavier Prep coming into Indians territory to take on Palm Springs. This Palm Springs team, they've been doing something historic this year. They are sitting 7-0 on the season. That's right. That's undefeated, hoping to make it 8-0 after tonight, but of course, only time will tell. I talked to you about this historic season that the Indians are having, but believe it or not, this historic season has been 10 years in the making. Take a look. It was 10 years ago when the Palm Springs High School football team reached legendary status. An 11-1 season led by Taylor Hawkins, who would go on to play in the NFL. Back then, the stands were packed, the lights were bright, and history was being made. But among the cheering in the crowd were 3 little boys, dreaming that one day it would be their turn. Now, a decade later, Koa Rapoa, Bishop Miller, and Jordan Johnson are turning those dreams into reality, leading the Indians on another historic run.
the way our team is meshing right now is meshing really well, and I think that the way that we've been taking our games just 1 week at a time has definitely helped us stay, composed, humble, and just keep playing how we're supposed to be playing.
We've known everybody for a long time, like even from when they were younger, AU and playing with the Bishop's dad in youth football. So just how everybody clicked outside of football and how it just transitions onto the field or even onto the field in game days too. It was special for sure.
And special it is. For the first time in a decade, the Palm Springs Indians are undefeated at 7-0. And the Star Seniors are leading the way across the Desert Empire League in nearly every category. Running back Jordan Johnson tops the league with 793 rushing yards and 13 touchdowns in just 6 games. Two-way standout Koa Rapoa is a force on both sides of the ball with 84 tackles and 7 touchdowns. And under center, quarterback Bishop Miller has piled up more than 1,300 total yards, adding 3 rushing touchdowns and 14 through the air.
You can expect fireworks for sure. It's going to be a movie. We're setting the tone this week for sure. A lot of energy, a lot of enthused. We're ready. Make sure we're ready for the game. And it's Hoko. It's a lot of people going to be there, so we're ready.
Well, you heard Bishop Miller say it himself. Tonight is going to be a movie. They're hopeful to put on a show in front of this big homecoming crowd here tonight. A lot of exciting matchups happening here tonight in Palm Springs as well as across the Coachella Valley. We'll have more on all of those matchups later on in our 6 o'clock broadcast. So until then, I'm Caitlin Kelly, and that'll do it for sports.
All right, finally tonight, if you're thinking about dinner, it's National Pasta Day. History ties to Italy, a first reference back in the 1100s in Sicily.
You said you make a mean lasagna.
I do. I parlo italiano, so I speak a little Italian.
Bring it in to share.